and we place animals that, Great Danes, and sometimes we do mixes and we do other things also. We're working now with the no-kill here in our
Right.
town.
Right.
But we place Great Danes. We do about 175 placements a year
Wow.
of Great Danes, and they're neglected, abused. They come in really, really bad shape. I've had about 5 fosters, and every one of them have almost had heartworms, just about every one of them. And Danes for Danes comes in and takes the Great Dane, gets it vetted, gets it spayed or neutered, takes care of all the shots. If it has heartworms, we take care of that. We put it in a foster home where it's rehabilitated. Some of them have been from breeders, and they've never been loved on or anything. But the wonderful thing about a Great Dane is they spoil in about a week. And they may have never had any attention or anything all of their lives, but you can get them in a house and within a week, and they're laying on your couch and they've taken your bed over. So that's one of the wonderful things about them. You can tell they're big. He's about 140.
Okay.
He's about 140. We had another one that we were going to bring in here a little while ago, and she got a little bit wild, so we took Rosie out.
She did. She was excited.
She is about the same height and weight as he is, but they're just different. They're made differently. There are all kinds of different varieties of a Great Dane, as you saw from the 2 that we had, but Danes for Danes is just, I got started with Danes for Danes because I rescued this boy from our local shelter in Cleveland. And I saw him online. His name was Longshot because his odds were not good. And so I called about Dooley, and the guy on the phone, John, said, he is not up for adoption. And I said, oh, really? Well, he's on your website. And they said, well, I'm sorry. He's in observation right now, and you can't see him. And so I said, I'm coming over. And so I jumped in my car and didn't want a Great Dane, never have wanted a Great Dane, but jumped in my car, ran over there, and saw this boy laying there. He could not walk. He was crippled. They kept trying to get him up, and he would fall, and he was bony. He had heartworms. We didn't know it at the time. He had every worm that there was. And I was able to talk them into letting me have him, and they were getting ready to put him down. He was probably within an hour of being put
Oh,
to
my
sleep.
goodness.
But it was because he couldn't walk. You know, they
Right,
didn't think
yeah.
anybody would come and get him. So I got him, didn't know anything about Great Danes, took him over to Dr. Lane. He was in there for 10 days, and in that 10-day period, like I said, I didn't know anything, and I went online and found Danes for Danes. And I sent emails to many different Dane rescues, and they were the only ones that responded. And they responded in giving me help and telling me what I needed to do with them. Great Danes are funny. You can't exercise them right after they've eaten because their bellies will flip from blood.
Yes,
and
yes.
there's all kinds of things that you can't do with a Dane that you can do with regular dogs. And so they walked me through all that, told me what I needed to have him on at the vet, and made sure that was what Dr. Lane was doing. And Dr. Lane was right on it with all of it, put him on the steroids, and we thought we were going to have to put him down about the 9th day because it was adding up. The bills were adding up, you know, but I went in the 10th day, and he stood up and walked. It was not pretty. My husband calls him an okay Dane. He's not really a Great Dane. He's kind of an okay Dane.
But he's sweet.
He is. I love him. We love him. My son helps me walk him all the time, and I don't know what I would do. I have 2 sons, Michael and Ben, and they both help me, and they've both done transportation for the Danes. We had one foster that went to Virginia, and the lady decided she didn't want to keep him. My other son, my older son, went and picked that dog up in Virginia for me and brought her back. And now she's in a wonderful home. Her name is Bandy. She was my first one. And so that's how I got hooked up with Danes for Danes. And it's from that point on, it's just been a love relationship with them. They are the best rescue I have ever. It's about the dogs. It's about the dogs. It's not about any of their personality. It's not about anybody's ego. it is about these dogs and saving them, and
That's
we
wonderful.
have stories upon stories, which I'm sure all
Yeah.
rescues do, but we have all kinds of stories that we could tell on all of these dogs. I have my own adventures that my husband wishes I wouldn't go on to get some of these. But they're all safe now, and he's a good boy, and he, like you saw how he kind of walks now. It's a little hard for him to get up and down, but he does, and he's
Well,
just
now, he's a
good
big
boy.
old boy, and Danes are basically house dogs, right?
Oh, yes.
Uh-huh. See, my son is a Weimaraner rescuer in Nashville. Weims are also house dogs. And
Yes.
we had one that he kept. He rescued him and then he kept. And he did the stomach flip situation where we had to have surgery at UT.
Oh, no.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
And that got to be quite an expensive Weim. But Caesar lived to be about 15 years old, which is
Oh.
remarkable for a Weim. What is the life expectancy on most
It's about
Danes?
9 years, usually around 9 years, but, you know, that's the downside of
Yeah.
a Dane, but boy, they will absolutely fill your life full of adventure. They are not easy dogs. You know, people get them and think they're just going to be these, you know, easy dogs to take care of, and they are not. He requires a walk every day. And that's all he requires. After that, he passes out for the rest of the day. We don't have to do much more with him, but his vet bill ended up being about $1,200 for us to get him up and going, and so Danes for Danes helps with those things.
Oh, that's
and,
good.
And that
That's
was
good.
part of the reason why I thought, you know, they don't have anything to do with me right now, but they've helped with this process. So they have been absolutely wonderful, and
Yeah, Dooley.
and he thinks so too.
Yes, he's going to talk to us, really. We don't have you mics, Dooley. That's a shame. That is a shame.
Yeah.
He is such a sweetheart. He really, really is. For any of y'all watching, Renee always gets to pet the dog. I don't get to pet the dog, but she keeps them all over
I
there.
know.
It's not that I don't like dogs. I would have that dog in my lap, but she keeps them over there. So please don't think I don't like dogs. Now, if that was a cat, that might be a whole different story. It's a dog.
Me too.
It's a dog, and I love dogs.
I would give you the cat.
Yeah, I would do
I
it.
would give it back to you. I mean, I know there are cat lovers out there, and we love you. We love you too.
We
But
don't dislike cats.
now, who in the world came up with this absolutely adorable name, Danes for Danes?
That was Karen Dalholt. She's the founder of the company, and she just loves Danes, and she came up. We have a really neat website. It's, you know, danesfordanes.org, that you can go and check it out, and our logo is really cute with Danes walking a Great Dane, and we're just, you know, it's just a wonderful organization, and, you know, we're tying it into the shelter, you know, and what they're doing right now with the no-kill. It's just a wonderful thing. The people on Facebook who are my friends from Danes for Danes are helping with the process of the no-kill over at the
sharing
shelter.
the-
They're sharing that
That's right.
information.
Yeah,
We
that's
had
right.
a lab that was adopted that way this week. I've got friends. I mean, it's just amazing because they all help. Doesn't matter if it's a Dane or if it's a boxer or if it's a mutt.
Right.
We just want to find them a home, and that's
Well,
what I love.
I know boxers are barrel chested like this too, because my sister-in-law's boxer had the stomach situation thing,
Mhm.
and she was in Nashville
And
with
she
the
real
dog.
careful with it,
So I told her, I said, call your nephew. He'll walk you right through this because we just went through it. And so you do have to be careful with the barrel-chested dogs like that,
You
because
do.
it does happen.
They
But
do have a thing where you can tack their stomachs now. It's an expensive procedure
Oh.
to have done. So we don't do that right now in our rescue. If we did, we would have to raise the price of an
Right.
adoption. And
Right.
an adoption's about $125.
Okay, that was my next question. If we wanted to adopt, now, Dooley is not up for adoption.
No,
Okay.
he is not up for
We
adoption.
do not call today.
You know, for the right price maybe. I don't know.
Right.
$1 million.
Okay, Rachel, how do they get in touch with Danes for Danes?
They can go to our website. It is danesfordanes.org. They can contact me. I'm here in Cleveland. I'm on Facebook, Rachel Deasy. They can do it that way. They can go on Facebook. Danes for Danes has a Facebook page, and we do ask that, you know, when you come in, you ask to be their friend, because when people come in putting some things on
Right,
it. So,
right.
So we do it that way, but you can request that. If you want an application, you can go on our website and ask for an application.
And if you're interested in sponsoring rescue always need sponsors.
Absolutely,
When you pull these
absolutely.
dogs from untenable situations, then they need homes to go to
Yes,
to
ma'am.
rehabilitate, so.
And we need those desperately,
Yeah.
like every other rescue
Every
probably.
And we had the no-kill folks on last week with us, Lindsay Smith,
I love her.
and, just wonderful folks. So Rachel and Dooley, thank you all so much for being on with us today. We really do appreciate it.
I got a
And
Dooley
see, Renee got sugar, and I don't get sugar, so he's way over there. So, don't go away, we'll be right back with our next guest, so stay with us.
You are adorable.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacy